Welcome to Fenway Park as the fans make their way in. It's Game 3 of a 3-game series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox. Well, a 10-inning victory last night for the Blue Jays while the Yankees were losing to the Orioles in the Bronx. And the Blue Jays begin tonight's Game 3 with a game-and-a-half lead over the Yankees in the American League East. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox have played some pretty good baseball in this homestand so far, Jerry. And a guy who's on a roll goes tonight in Joe Kelly.
And Joe Kelly has been outstanding, 7-0 in his last 7 starts. And, you know, he's using a wide variety of pitches to get outs. I mean, especially strikeouts. You see early in the ball game, last time that he pitched, he used a lot of breaking balls to get strikeouts. And then later on in the ball game, he used a lot of fastballs to get strikeouts. And that's one thing that Troy Labella was talking about today when talking about Joe Kelly, the fact that he's learned now not just to throw fastballs all through the ball game because he can throw 98 miles an hour, but also mix up his pitches. You look at his number right now, 7-0, a 2.72 ERA. And one of the big reasons he's realized he's got a very good curveball, he's got a changeup, he's got a variety of pitches that he's able to use to get outs in a ball game and just not rely on that fastball. But when he needs the fastball, he's got it because he's got very good velocity on it.
No chance to get his 8th win in a row here tonight at Fenway Park, matched up against Drew Hutchison. A little bit of the flavor of Fenway Park just outside. We're back with more right after this.
Who's hungry, guys? Food and water goes in the game. Step right up.
It's a new Audi A3 today. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals by Toyota.com. Digital Federal Credit Union, see what DCU can save you. The newly redesigned 2016 Mitsubishi Outlander. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Welcome back to Fenway Park as we get ready for Game 3 of the 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. Standing by with a special guest is Garen Austin. Garen?
We're here with Charlie Noyes. He's the president of 99 Restaurants and Pub. Charlie, it's September 9th, so it's a perfect night to have 99 night here at Fenway Park. What does that entail?
Well, this is the 14th year of our partnership with the Red Sox, so we're here celebrating that relationship as well as 3 other special relationships: Pine Street Inn, Dana-Farber, and the Boys and Girls Club. And this is our opportunity to say thank you to all of our guests and team members for supporting us this year in our fundraising efforts. Through all of their efforts, we've been able to raise $1.3 million this year. We're here celebrating. We've got 268 folks with us tonight, 46 of our top managers, 3 of whom threw out the first pitch tonight. We've got 99 kids here from the Boys and Girls Clubs of New England and New York, and we've got 100 guests up in the Green Monster seats tonight celebrating with. So we're just so appreciative of all their efforts.
Why has supporting the community been such a priority?
You know, it really goes back to our founder, Charlie Doe, who began with the Pine Street Inn 34 years ago, actually. And over the years, we've worked with them. We've added on the Boys and Girls Club about 18 years ago now. We've been working with the Boys and Girls Club. And then most recently, back in 2007, Dana-Farber. And we just feel it's such an important part of what we do, and it's part of our culture.
All right, Garrett, thanks very much. Well, a good pitching matchup tonight. Drew Hutchison, 13-3 with a 5.07 earned run average. Joe Kelly trying to win his 8th in a row. He's 9-6. First pitch coming your way next. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Welcome back to Fenway Park as the Red Sox and Blue Jays wrap up their 3-game series. The Red Sox trying to win the series after winning the first game of the series, dropping last night's game in 10 innings. And today we'll have on the mound Joe Kelly as the Red Sox have taken the field tonight. Joe Kelly making his way to the mound as he does. Let's check out the visiting Blue Jays starting lineup. It's brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. And leading it off is Ben Revere in left field with Josh Donaldson at third base batting second. Jose Bautista in right field in the 3 spot with Edwin Encarnacion, the DH. Troy Tulowitzki at shortstop with Chris Colabello at first base. Russell Martin does the catching. He bats 7th with Ryan Goins at second base. And Kevin Pillar in center field bats 9th. The Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Joe Kelly making his 24th appearance, 9-6 with a 4.84 earned run average, 101 strikeouts to 46 walks, and opponents hitting at 272 against Kelly. Last time out, a win against the Philadelphia Phillies, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. He walked 3 and struck out 5 along the way.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and they are 11th in the American League with 83 errors on the season. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. And Travis Shaw, the first baseman, left to right. Rusney Castillo, Mookie Betts, and Jackie Bradley Jr. And Ryan Hannigan doing the catching for Joe Kelly.
Well, the umpire, crew Paul Schreiber, has got the play tonight, calling the balls and strikes. Crew chief Fielden Culbreth at first base, with Manny Gonzalez at second base, and Jim Reynolds, the umpire, at third. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Well, the conditions tonight, 82 degrees as we get it started. Breeze out to center at 16 miles per hour. And the forecast partly cloudy in the area as the lights are on and the Red Sox wrap up their homestand here tonight. 3 teams have been here. The Red Sox will use tomorrow as a travel day to begin the road trip that is headed to 3 cities. And to where the Bellows Red Sox playing very well. They are 65 and 73 coming into this game, but lately playing very good baseball and inspired baseball here at Fenway, as the Blue Jays, by virtue of their win last night, the Yankees loss, it's a game and a half atop the American League East, and certainly every game the rest of the way is sort of a playoff game for John Gibbons and the Toronto Blue Jays as they battle their way to the end. And Red Sox will go to Toronto as part of this next road trip, so we will see the Jays and John Gibbons again as Ben Revere makes his way to the plate to get it started. They're at 3:15, no homers and 6 runs batted in. Leading it off here against Joe Kelly. It was a tight one last night into the 10th inning before the Blue Jays would come away with a 5-1 win, scoring 4 times in the 10th inning. Joe Kelly trying to get his 10th win of the year. Ready for his first pitch of the night. And the first pitch of the ball game is outside for ball 1.
4th time this year that Kelly has faced Toronto. He is 0-1 with a 7.64 ERA in his previous 3 starts.
The new approach has been working for Joe Kelly to the tune of 7 straight wins. Relying more on his secondary pitches. There's been no doubt about that. Taking a little bit off that 97, 98 mile an hour fastball to gain better control. And working in conjunction with Brian Hannigan. Talking about Hannigan is Alex Spear of the Boston Globe on cue. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike, 3-1. Picks up the corner.
Yeah, get me over strike at 89 miles an hour from Kelly. Don't want to walk that leadoff man here in the 1st inning.
A little bloop to left. Castillo coming in to put it away for out number 1. So Kelly got behind 3-0, comes back to get Ben Revere for the first out.
Yeah, Revere swinging at that fastball on the 3-1 count. Just a little bloop out to Brusney Castillo for the out. Falling behind, 3 balls, no strikes. Ran it to 3-1. Another fastball on the 3-1 count. A little bit inside, and Revere just slicing it to the opposite field.
Josh Donaldson standing in. An MVP chant from the Blue Jays fans who made their way here to Fenway Park. And a swing and a miss for strike 1.
Good slider by Kelly on the first pitch.
6 for 11 is Donaldson against Kelly in his career. On the corner for strike 2. 95 on the fastball that time from Kelly. Tonight the career high for Joe Kelly in starts made, his 24th start of the year. And trying to grab that outside corner again with a breaking ball.
That's a very good 0-2 pitch by Kelly right there. Something that is tantalizing for the hitter. Donaldson is able to stay off the slider, but a very good pitch by Kelly.
Swinging a foul tip off of Hannigan.
From the slider to the curveball. And that time just barely fouled off by Donaldson. Getting that curveball away and just getting a piece of it. The guy that I think is going to be the MVP this year, Donaldson.
37 home runs, 115 runs batted in, an average of 305. Try the gas away here, the 1-2 pitch. Ends up coming back, but too low, 2-2. Kind of a mislocation there for Kelly, but it wasn't costly.
Well, because he was able to keep the ball down in the zone, and if you make a mistake, that's where you want to make the mistake, down low.
Late swing, and it's fouled off into the seats.
That time 97 from Kelly on the fastball, and a very, very late swing.
And getting hit about 3 rows deep by the on deck circle on that last foul ball, and Donaldson looking in that direction after the foul ball. Two pitches grounded foul towards the end of the Blue Jays dugout.
And you can see Hannigan tapping his glove on the ground after calling the curveball. He wanted to make sure that Kelly had in his mind get that breaking ball down in the zone. As Hannigan tapping low, you know a curveball's coming. Just a reminder to Kelly to try to keep that ball down.
Two pitch. And Donaldson cleans this out down the left field line. It is a fair ball. Rattles off the wall. Castillo throwing towards second base. He will be out eventually. He's out of the base path and is out now. Nice play by Rusney Castillo to get it and get it back in a hurry.
Well, how quickly did Rusney Castillo get that ball in at second base? I mean, this ball's a rocket. It's a breaking ball that stays up and hit very hard off that left field wall. Most of the time you're thinking about 2 bases when you hit a ball that hard, but you're going to see the carom right here, and Castillo over very quickly. Look at that release to second base. And they're just waiting for Donaldson at second base. Pedroia is. Well, that was a beautiful thing by Rusney Castillo out there in left field. I'll tell you, this outfield playing spectacular defense.
And Rusney getting used to playing the wall out there in left, working very hard.
Well, Donaldson thinking 2 all away from contact, as you probably would be when you hit a ball that hard.
And a single for Donaldson, thrown out 7-4 at second base. 2 down here in the first inning. A 1-1 coming to Jose Bautista. And the strike called. 1-2. Bautista didn't like it. .33 home runs, 96 RBIs. The 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Bautista strikes out. Kelly through the first inning. Red Sox are coming up. Score in the top of the first inning. On the mound tonight for the Blue Jays, their starting pitcher, presented by New England Nissan dealers, Drew Hutchison. His 27th start, he's 13-3, but the ERA is up over 5, a 5.07 earned run average, 143 2/3 innings so far in the year for the right-hander. And his first pitch into Mookie Betts for strike one. Lost last time out to the Orioles. 5 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 2.
Don, just to add to those numbers, against the Red Sox this year, he's made 3 starts. He has a record of 1-0, but the ERA is 11.91 in the 3 starts against the Red Sox.
You look at his record and you look at his ERA, and they just don't really match up.
How does that happen?
I guess the answer is the Blue Jays score him a lot of runs.
Yes.
And the road has not been too kind, as Alex Spear of the Boston Globe points out. Ball and 2 strikes here to Mookie Betts. That's with a 14-game hitting streak coming into tonight's action. And he protects the plate, fouling it off to the right out of play. 13 home runs now for Mookie, 67 runs batted in. Talked about the 14-game hitting streak. He's hit safely in 22 of his last 23 games since August the 14th. That's a pop-up foul ground going as far as he can as Colabello, but he won't have a play.
And talking about Mookie Betts and that 14-game hitting streak against Hutchinson in his career, 5 for 9 with a home run. And there's the numbers through the hitting streak, a 386 average. A couple of home runs, 9 RBIs.
One-two pitch. And a swing and a miss, elevated at 94 miles an hour, and Betts strikes out. Let's check out the rest of the Red Sox starting lineup. It's brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Saw Mookie Betts, the center fielder, with Dustin Pedroia at second base. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop bats third, with David Ortiz, the DH, in the cleanup spot. Travis Shaw batting fifth, with Pablo Sandoval at third base. Rusney Castillo has already chipped in defensively tonight in left. Ryan Hannigan does the catching, and Jackie Bradley Jr. in right field bats ninth. Dustin Pedroia in his return to the Red Sox, sending one foul down the right field line. Went back in the Red Sox lineup on Tuesday night. Came out of the game last night, extra innings, precautionary reasons. Back in the lineup again today.
Asked him this afternoon how he felt after last night. First time in action for a long time. Said felt great.
Seemed to swing the bat pretty well, considering being off as long as he was, and no rehab games to speak of.
Yeah, usually after the game, get pretty sore. And he said, no, he said, I've been doing a lot of speed work and, felt pretty good in the game last night. No soreness today, so that's a good thing for Pedroia.
You saw 5 for 15 against Hutchison. A lot of the Red Sox with pretty good numbers against Hutchison. Here's an 0-2 pitch. And a fly ball foul off to the right out of play, 0-2. Baltimore already on top of the Yankees tonight, 1-0 in the first inning in the Bronx. Blue Jays will be keeping an eye on that scoreboard in left field throughout tonight, as they did last night. Ended up gaining a game atop the American League East. In the dirt, and it's a ball and 2 strikes now to Pedroia. Yank that outside in the dirt, and it evens at 2-2.
First changeup that Hutchison has thrown tonight, and not close with that as he pulled it down and away from Dustin Pedroia. Backhanded by Russell Martin.
Prior to last night, Pedroia had missed the previous 42 games of the right hamstring strain. Pops it up foul. Third base side. Donaldson headed over, but he won't have a play. Well, tonight's suits are designed by Joseph Abood, custom made in the USA from fine Italian fabrics, available at Men's Warehouse. One out, base is empty, and Pedroia battling here, 2-2. Xander Bogaerts waiting on deck. Foul first base way, and that also will end up in the crowd. Now at Fenway, Pedroia, with a long time in between games, has an 18-game hitting streak at Fenway at .397. Longest active home streak in Major League Baseball. That's a ground ball left side. To the back end goes Tulowitzki. The throw in time. An off balance chuck at that, and he gets it there in time. 2 down.
The Blue Jays defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and they are 7th in the league with 75 errors on the season. Josh Donaldson at third base, Troy Tulowitzki the shortstop, Brian Goins at second, and Chris Colabello the first baseman. Left to right, Ben Revere, Kevin Pillar, and Jose Batista, and Russell Martin doing the catching for Hutchison.
2 down here in the first inning, and brings up Xander Bogaerts. .317 with 5 homers and 71 runs batted in. Xander with good numbers like everybody else, it seems, in this Red Sox lineup against Hutchison. 500 will do. 7 for 14. Down the right field line, foul and out of play.
Now, the only player in the lineup tonight that has not faced Hutchison is Travis Shaw, the Red Sox first baseman.
The arsenal for Hutchison, 66% fastballs. Sprayed foul off to the right, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, pretty much fastball, slider, changeup type pitcher. Nice two-handed catch. Oh, the other guy. Ooh, the other guy almost fell right over that railing.
That'll skip in and even the count at 2-2.
That's the second changeup he's thrown, and both have been pretty much in the same direction, down and away from the right-handed hitter. Once again, pulling that ball to the outside part of the plate and backhanded again by Martin.
Down the right field line and out of play. Well, since May the 31st, Xander Bogaerts leading the American League in batting average, hitting at .341 since the end of May. Last 7 games hitting at .345 and batting primarily in that 3 spot in the Red Sox lineup. 20th pitch of the inning is a fly ball to center field that has Pillar back there. He puts it away, and the Red Sox are down in order in the first. Through 1, we're scoreless. Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or your tablet today. The striker is in the house with his buddy Kashim here at the ballpark. Striker knows he's on TV. Striker always knows when he's on TV. There's a ground ball foul outside at third.
Kashim didn't know which way to look. You know, he wanted to look at the camera to be on TV, but he wanted to see himself on TV. It's always a dilemma. There I am again.
Yes, I'm back on television. There we go. Edwin Encarnacion leading it off here in the second inning for the Blue Jays. It's like Gary may have trimmed up his hair a little bit too while you're at it.
I noticed the same thing.
The 0-2 pitch. We often talk about how it doesn't feel great when you're in the split screen with Gary Streisky, his hair situation, my hair situation. Well, this guy has his flipped. This is what I would look like with Gary's hair. And then there's you working very hard announcing from home.
It's a perfect picture.
There's a fly ball to shallow right. Bradley racing in to make the catch. Not get initially the best jump, but he does come on enough speed to recover. And Encarnacion the first out of the second inning.
Torey Lovullo was talking about this outfield this afternoon in his press conference with the media and the confidence that has given the pitching staff the ability of these guys to be able to track balls in the outfield. Bradley, Betts, Castillo. And we've already seen him come into play a couple of times today. He went kind of sideways on that and then started to come back in and able to make the catch, calling for it. So we've seen Castillo make a nice play in left field tonight. We've seen Bradley just make another one.
One down for Troy Tulowitzki, and he'll take strike one. Tulowitzki at .233, 5 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Center fielder Mookie Betts over towards right center. Good sized gap out in left center. Tulowitzki has helped this Blue Jays team really take off after they added him and David Price. The trade deadline, and Tulowitzki a big part of last night's win for the Jays in 10 innings. Strike call, 1-2. Blue Jays are 28-7 in games that Tulowitzki has now played in and been in the starting lineup 4. That's now with Chris Colabello waiting on deck, Massachusetts native. On the ground to second base. Pedroia fields and throws for out number 2. Well, tomorrow at 6, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Jim Rice will preview the Red Sox upcoming 9-game road trip. You packed yet, Jerry?
Is it what? Excuse me?
Have you packed yet?
No, tomorrow morning. We don't leave till tomorrow afternoon, Don.
2 down here in the second for Chris Colabello. A .331 average for Colabello coming in. 13 homers, 50 runs batted in to go along with that hefty batting average. No pitch is just outside. Pretty close pitch. 2-0. A big series coming up for the Blue Jays coming up. A 4-game series coming up against the Yankees. After the ball game tonight, they'll head to New York. There's a ground ball foul over by the on deck circle. So they're going head to head. The top 2 teams in the American League East. Red Sox took game 1 of this series. John Gibbons, Blue Jays taking game 2. And scoreless here in the second inning. Well, the Yankees have tied up the Orioles tonight. They're in the second inning, 1-1 from the Bronx. Here's a 2-1 to Colabello. And it is on that outside corner.
That's nasty right there. Nasty slider by Kelly. Starting at middle of the plate and it ends up on the outside part of the plate. Not much a hitter can do with a pitch like that except maybe foul it off.
.30 pitches now for Kelly and a full count here to Colabello.
There's that fastball reaching 98 miles an hour that time by Joe Kelly, but up and out of the strike zone.
First full count of the night for Kelly. Swing and a miss. Colabello chases the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Inning and a half done. Scoreless from the Fens. Lisa Hillary will check in on the Bruins and have a report from Foxborough as the Patriots gear up for the Steelers. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do.
Don, who's going to back up Tuukka Rask this year?
That is a great question. I don't know the answer to that question.
I have no idea either. Maybe you don't need one. Just go to the same guy all year.
You got to have one.
You got to have one, huh?
Especially if he gets injured or something during the game.
You got to have a bullpen. You got to have a bullpen.
Nicholas Fedberg no longer with the team. He was last year's backup, so I don't have an answer. This is line to first, and Colabello reels it in. One pitch, and Ortiz is out here in the bottom of the second inning.
And Colabello playing very close to that line at first base with a shift on, and the line drive not a problem from him off the bat of Ortiz. See how close he is to that line. Didn't even have to move. Just bend down a little bit.
So one away, 4 in a row, retired by Hutchison out of the gate tonight. Travis Shaw, the batter. Yeah. Let's take a look at his strike. Well, Shaw getting his 9th home run of the year, supplying the only Boston run. .273 for Shaw. 9 homers and 20 runs batted in. He has been batting out of the 5 spot primarily. Swinging a pitch in the dirt, and that's a pitch that Hutchinson's had trouble with tonight, but he gets Shaw to swing at it.
That's the third one that he's featured so far in this game. All 3 have been down in the dirt, but that time Shaw chases it.
So I'm going to try it again. Sails outside, and it's 2-2. Nine of the last 13 for Shaw for extra bases. All right, Dickey last night pitching very well in the game. Not part of the decision. Came out after only 6 innings and 80 pitches in last night's game and left with the game tied 1-1. Bullpens would decide it. Of course, a 10-inning ball game here last night. Outside for ball 4, and the first base runner of the night for the Red Sox, a 1-out walk for Travis Shaw. The local Dunkin' Donuts franchisees are proud to give back to the communities in which they live and work. Today we welcome Needham High School. Dunkin' Donuts committed to the community. One out, one on, and Pablo Sandoval standing in on the left side. And it is held on to there at the bottom of the zone by Martin, and it does pick up the strike zone. Sandoval at 247 with 10 homers and 44 runs batted in. Sandoval 1 for 4 in the ball game last night with a double. Fly ball golfed foul off to the left out of play, and it's 0-2. Another guy who has very good numbers against Drew Hutchison, 5 for 7. So far, Hutchison is not allowed to hit and retired the first 4 Red Sox he faced in the game, then walked Travis Shaw. There's an 0-2. That's outside for ball 1. Sandoval now with Rusney Castillo waiting on deck. Red Sox batting here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Two and two.
Back-to-back changeups to Sandoval with 2 strikes on him. And both of them away from Sandoval. And for Pablo not to swing at one, they've really got to be away.
Goes after that one. It was away and fouls it back.
That time trying to go backdoor with the slider, going to the outside corner with it. It's a pitch that a lot of left-handers will quit on, but not Sandoval. Reaches out and fouls it off.
Fouled back. Fastball was at the top of the zone.
See, a lot of the hot zones are right in the middle of the plate.
You surprised by that?
No. If you can't hit a ball in the middle of the plate, you're not going to be in the big leagues for very long.
Two pitch to Sandoval. And he'll foul it off. He's going to see an 8th pitch in this at bat. None of them have been in his hot zone. I can tell you that right now, looking at the pitch zone right now where everything's been.
Those have been like a lot of pitches outside, up high, down low.
Hutchison has done a very nice job of keeping it out of his hot zone.
There it is again.
Yes.
You know what it looks like? The eye of a hurricane.
Yep.
It really does. The red area there is the eye, and that's going to be moving from southeast to northwest.
A good battle here between Hutchinson and Sandoval with one out, runner at first base. Colabello holding on Shaw. Sandoval gets jammed, that time coming in for the first time, and he fouls it back. Nothing else making Drew Hutchinson work hard here in the second inning.
A lot of pitches in this at bat to Pablo Sandoval. And not many of them down the middle of the plate.
Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. He strikes out, and that is a second strikeout for Hutchinson, who ends up winning the battle.
Ends up going to a slider that's not a strike, actually, but it goes down and out of the strike zone, and Sandoval can't stay off it. So really nothing in that at bat for Sandoval. That was a very good pitch to hit. Most of the pitches away, a couple upstairs, a couple of downstairs, and ends up picking up the strikeout after a number of pitches.
So two down, Shaw at first, held on by Colabello, and here's Rusney Castillo, who has already made a very good defensive play in this game, throwing out Donaldson at second base, an outfield assist. His fifth outfield assist. And 6 games in left, he's had 3. Tonight getting Donaldson, trying to stretch a single into a double. Line foul back into the grandstand. We're no rookies when it comes to flavor. Hood Red Sox ice cream scores a home run every time. Ortiz lined out to first. Shaw walked. Sandoval strikes out, so 2 down. And a 1-1 pitch coming to Rusney Castillo. Fouled off down the right field line. 1-2.
Rusney a little bit late on a couple of fastballs at about 92 miles an hour.
20th pitch of the inning coming up here for Drew Hutchinson. Spent most of his time throwing pitches to Pablo Sandoval in this inning. 40th pitch of his outing, and it's outside. 2-2. Well, for Rusney here at Fenway Park, a .310 career average. 6 of his home runs coming at Fenway. In the air to right field, playable for Jose Bautista, and he'll put it away to end the second inning. We played 2 without a score from Fenway. Season in their 138th game, the Red Sox beat the Brewers 20-6. Roger Moret pitched 7 innings to get the win. Dwight Evans went 5 for 6 with a double, 3 RBIs and 2 runs. The game was played in 2 hours and 57 minutes. 27 runs, but under 3 hours.
Wow.
We're scoreless as we head here to the top half of the 3rd inning. Bottom third of the Blue Jays order: Martin, Goins, and Pilar. And along with us, Kevin Lemanowitz from Fox 25 joining us in the booth. And of course, we have very much enjoyed our partnership over the years with Fox 25, and continues to grow. And we always look forward to your weather forecast here at Fenway Park, because it's crucial for what we do here.
No doubt about it. Yeah. And so I'm always doing those forecasts for not just you guys, but of course for the Red Sox themselves and Dave Miller, the grounds crew, and making sure things go as planned. And this summer's actually been pretty good. There haven't been many rain delays to speak of, and when there have been, we've had some fun going back and forth on Twitter and keeping people up to date on the situation.
Yeah, we get you all the time on Twitter, and we're up to date on what's going to happen here. The storm's going to miss us. It's going to go to our north. Good stuff.
You made me famous, Jerry, because when you do that, I get calls from friends I don't even know I had. I just heard your name on the Red Sox game.
How hard is it when you're talking to David Miller, who's walking on the field on his cell phone talking to you, how hard is it to judge this very small area here? Because it seems like Fenway's different from other places in Boston as far as the weather patterns.
It really is, and we joke about the Fenway force field. But yesterday was a very good example. It got really hot yesterday.
There is strike 3 to Russell Martin. Didn't like the call at all.
As you know, so there was this tremendous storm that developed right over Logan Airport, which is not too far away from here. Didn't touch Fenway. You didn't get a drop here, but it was that close by, and we've seen a lot of that this year.
It's got to be very tough to judge, and I know a lot of times you're telling him so he can tell the umpires that stuff is coming within the next, 15, 20 minutes.
They've got to know right up to the minute, because they don't want the pitchers to start warming up before the game and then have to cool down and warm back up again. You want to make sure the batting practice goes off without a hitch. And, of course, once the game starts, it's in the umpire's hand as opposed to the Red Sox, and I think Dave would rather have it in his hands rather than hand it off.
Well, you have a lot of responsibility. There's no doubt about that.
I got to ask you, what allergies are out there right now?
Oh, Jerry, it's ragweed. And
ragweed
just kills me this time every year.
Killing me.
If I didn't have some antihistamines, I wouldn't be able to talk to you right now without sneezing every 5 seconds. It's nasty. It really is.
Well, we understand there's a new Fox 25 news program launching this weekend.
There is. So that's Saturday and Sunday mornings from 6 to 10. We're going to be launching the Fox 25 Morning News, which already is Monday through Friday, of course, for 6 hours. This will be a little shorter version, 4 hours on those 2 days. And this Saturday is the launch, and I'll actually be making an appearance on it.
Very nice.
It won't be a live one. It'll be me in a blimp.
Ooh. So you went up in the blimp.
How's that for a tease?
Whoa. You'll not catch me up there. They've asked a few times for Jerry and I to go up there. What was it like?
All right, so it's a beautiful view, absolutely gorgeous. You get up there and you can see everywhere. So we left from Mansfield Airport, and it took almost an hour to get to Boston. So it's not the most convenient commuting method, I suppose, but it's really like being in a boat. You're going up and down like you're going over waves, side to side. It's after almost 3 hours up there. Felt like I'd been in a roller coaster for that one. And I love roller coasters. You guys like roller coasters?
Yeah, I'm all right with the roller coaster. I don't think I'm all right with this, though.
Well,
this is
a 3 hour long roller coaster gets to be a little much, that's for sure. Look at the shots, though. Isn't that pretty?
Very pretty. Very slow moving, though. Huh? I mean, an hour?
We're going at mostly 25 miles an hour.
There's a fly ball to right field, struck well, but Bradley has room and gets back there to make the catch. 2 down in the inning. Well, this has been a terrific summer. I guess my next question, generally when we have you on, it's right around now, and we're getting into fall. What's this winter going to be like? Are we going to be dealing with what we did last year? I mean, is that possible?
Can you believe he's asking me this, Jerry?
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. I want answers.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. Well,
you know, there's conflicting signals. So we have this El Nino thing, which happens, and without getting too geeky on you, typically that makes our winters a little less snowy historically. But it's not set in stone. If it becomes a really strong El Nino and combined with some other circulations go around the globe, you can really end up with more snow. So I'm erring on the side of the lesser snow, only because how could you have more snow than you had last year?
You can't lose. I mean, just 1 month of February, that was it was crazy.
It was almost all in that 1 month, and it was one after another. And this winter, I had broken my leg skiing, so I couldn't drive anywhere, and so I'd have people drop me off at the station, and they were thankful they didn't have to pick me up because they could just leave me there for the snowstorms and sleep at the station for pretty much the whole month of February.
Wow. Well, you were on the MetLife Snoopy blimp, I'm told.
Snoopy 1, yes.
Snoopy 1. Is there a Snoopy 2?
I do not know.
Okay.
I do not know. it's one thing that would be interesting and if you tune in to see that story that we're going to air on Saturday morning, the pilot Terry talked about how the weather affects it. And one of the things he told me is if it started snowing at that moment, he would put that blimp down right on that hill over there.
Wow.
Like there'd be no questions asked. We're just going down. There's not stand up there with snow at all. And that's why you'll never see a blimp flying over a national college football game, for instance, taking place in the Northeast in the wintertime or in the colder months.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But anything that moves 25 miles an hour and is up in the air, it can't be good.
You got to get all the way back to Mansfield.
Yeah, it's up there in a blimp.
And they were here, of course, for the Deutsche Bank tournament taking place.
Yep, we flew over that as well, and I got a really pretty view of that too. So that was the main reason for being here. But luckily, I was able to hitch a ride. Well, luckily, I suppose, if you don't mind the ups and downs.
Kevin, if you don't mind, could you tell Don that that I once did the weather at Fox 25?
Wow,
years and years ago. Remember that, Jerry? So it's one of my.
There's a bloop that Pedroia's going to run down.
One of my career thrills, Jerry, to have you there.
It had to be. Thank you very much, Kevin.
Always a
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Thanks for having me. It's always a thrill being here. Jerry, great to see you.
Calling of balls and strikes be automated. Text SOX1 for yes. Text SOX2 for no. Text your answer to 536-536. Message antenna rates may apply. One message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions and privacy policy. Jerry, what do you think?
No. I mean, how would you do that? I mean,
like tennis. You could have you have like a pitch zone.
No,
like,
what do you argue with him? He get called out.
Nobody. It eliminates all that. I don't know.
I say no.
This one is fouled back. Again, you'd be getting it right as far as the strike zone goes.
Everybody, they're talking to me from the truck.
I know. There's one guy talking to you from the truck.
Consistency, get it right, speed the game up.
Yeah.
No, I say no. I want to argue with somebody. You know what I mean?
You enjoy that part of it.
Yeah. You can always blame somebody else for your strikeout. You know?
Yell at the computer. You could argue with the pitch zone if you wanted to.
Get no response. Who's going to throw you out of the game?
Does it feel good to be thrown out of the game? Does it feel better about yourself? Yeah.
Sometimes it does.
You enough. You said enough. You feel good about it.
Yeah.
Now Ryan Hannigan leading it off here in the home half of the third and fouling it back. And so far, 70% agree with you on our Scion TC poll.
I must say, watching the U.S. Open,
they
have a great way of showing whether balls are in or out, and it happens so quickly.
Right.
I mean, it's really terrific.
The 0-2 pitch is outside.
I got another question from the truck. What is this like?
I don't know.
Why don't I like the other one? Because I don't like it, all right?
Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here with that automated strike zone.
1-2 pitch is in the dirt, and it's 2-2. It can even beep, like it does at the U.S. Open when it's outside the line. If it's a strike, it could beep.
I was amazed. I've been sitting in the Red Sox clubhouse watching the U.S. Open, and it's amazing how quickly that thing comes and how accurate it is.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Speed, accuracy. Pitch is high. The thing I don't like is that, I think you'd agree with this, most umpires have their own strike zone.
Yes. And it's something you have to learn as a player. You get to know what umpires are hitters umpires, what umpires are pitchers umpires. And
why should that be? Shouldn't the strike zone be the strike zone?
Yeah, it should be, but everybody interprets it different.
Down to first base goes Hannigan. There's the second walk given up by Hutchinson. So leadoff walk, first time the Red Sox have had the lead runner on.
You imagine keeping an umpire behind the plate, calling balls and strikes, and then having that system that they have in the U.S. Open.
Right.
I mean,
he becomes sort of unnecessary.
Yeah, and probably look pretty bad too in a lot of cases.
Well, his only responsibility would then be making the out calls at home plate, or foul calls first and third before they go across the bag. It would reduce his role. I'd take him completely out of the balls and strike equation altogether and let the computer handle that.
Well, I'm not with you on that.
No.
I like the men in blue.
Okay.
Even if they don't like me, I still like them.
Went around, says third base umpire Jim Reynolds.
At an old time, Nestor Shylock, I'll never forget it. We were playing a Sunday afternoon game here at Fenway Park, and he must have had a 4:30, 5 o'clock fight. I don't know what it was, but I let off the bottom of the first game, and he said, I told us the other leadoff hitter. He said, I got a flight, and I'm going to make it. So pass it down the line. So what he was telling me is he's going to call strikes all day long, so you better be swinging. So obviously, after my at bat, I went into the dugout and told everybody, look, Nestor said he's going to be ringing us up today, so be ready.
He's got a flight.
He's got a flight to catch.
1-2 pitch, and thinking about it again was Jackie Bradley Jr. Did not go this time, says Jim Reynolds. Line picked on a hop to second for one, on to first for two. A line drive that turned into a short hop into the glove of Ryan Goins and worked out better for him. Instead of just the one out, he turns it into two.
Yeah, pretty slick fielding here by Goins at second base. He picks it on the one hop and then that little sidearm flip to Tulowitzki, and they turn over the double play. That ball hit very hard by Jackie Bradley Jr., but a nice play by the second baseman Goins. That's a long way from your knees to be flipping it sidearm too. Or that shuffle pass towards second base.
So the first double play of the night turned for either side, and it brings up the top of the order. Mookie Betts struck out swinging in the first inning. DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings has given out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Get your free entry into a one-day fantasy baseball contest today using promo code NESSN. I think one of the things that baseball purists were worried about when this whole review process came in and all the replay came in was that it was opening up kind of a can of worms, and how far would they go, and would it get to balls and strikes someday? But so far, it seems like it's worked out great, and it has not progressed quite that far yet.
Yeah, it really has. I was unclear about it, unsure about it, but I guess everybody's right. The whole thing is get the play right, and we've seen this year, how many times
we, with the benefit of replay, really don't have any idea.
Several replays.
You know, I mean, almost every one is so close. It's so you can imagine how difficult it is on the umpires to try to make accurate calls on those plays.
Here's a fly ball driven out towards deep left center field off the bat of Betts, and it is gone. No, it is up off the top of the wall apparently again. And a double here for Mookie Betts right at the top again. Very similar to what we saw last night. But a double here with 2 down.
I think we're going to have this one looked at. This one may have hit on top of the shelf. Well, that's strange. 2 of the same type in the back-to-back nights. Donaldson last night, Mookie Betts here tonight. Let's take a look. Does it hit the top of the shelf? Oh, I think it does. Home run.
Yep, it sure does.
Home run.
Now Torey Lovullo is going to challenge, and it looks like Mookie Betts has gone deep again, his 14th of the year. And this one definitely beyond that top of the wall situation we had last night with Donaldson. This one on the shelf.
Last night was very difficult to tell because it hit right on the corner. And this is last night's from Donaldson right here that hit the corner and then bounced back in the field of play. The one by Betts is a no-brainer. But, you know, in defense of the umpire, it's very difficult to see the top of the wall. Very difficult to see the top of the wall. And that's why you see those reviewed quite often. But this is going to be a home run.
That is the first hit of the game for the Red Sox, and a quick decision here and a home run. Mookie Betts with his 14th of the year puts the Red Sox on top 1-0.
And on 15-game hitting streak now, and we talked about Betts earlier, and you know he's the kind of guy. He's got 14 now. And I really think he's going to be between 20 and 25. I really honestly believe that as he matures a little bit more in the game as far as power goes.
For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to the Boston Children's Hospital. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. Now Pedroia standing in with the bases empty, 2 down. Pedroia grounded out to shortstop in the first inning, 0 for 1. Now Hutchinson had not allowed a hit through 2 2/3 innings prior to that home run by Betts. Now gets a strike over to Pedroia, 2-1. Late swing, fouled off to the right, out of play. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Mookie Betts now has the 4th longest Red Sox hit streak against the Blue Jays all time, and is looking to catch Rick Burleson at 18. How about you sitting on top there? 24 games, huh?
Against Toronto. I didn't
left field and a base hit. Dustin Pedroia with a hit here with 2 down in the inning. Back-to-back hits here for the Red Sox.
Yeah, you know, Don.
You are quite a player.
Yeah, quite a player.
Well, 2 down, Pedroia at first. You were a Blue Jay killer, apparently.
I didn't realize that. I mean, I know if it would have been Kansas City, I know I had some pretty good success against them, but I didn't realize a 24 hitting game streak against anybody. Never mind the Blue Jays, but of course, remember the Blue Jays are an expansion team, so they probably didn't have real good pitching when I faced them.
You feasted on expansion pitching.
Yeah.
P. Walker, the pitching coach out there. They don't have expansion pitching now. They have very good pitching.
No.
But even so, Mookie Betts with his 14th home run has given the Red Sox a 1-0 advantage.
Now, Betts can't catch me this year, right? I mean, he's.
Is there enough games left? No, we only go there. That's
3.
it. Yeah. Your record is safe.
I'm clean for another year.
You were a .322 hitter against the Toronto Blue Jays. Hall of Fame numbers as to right field, and that's going to get in. Bautista quickly fires it back into the infield. 3 straight hits for the Red Sox here with 2 outs in the inning.
Now Bogarts again using an opposite field stroke, and he certainly got that down. Fastball middle, inside out swing, hands inside the baseball, and take it to the other opposite field. See how deep Bautista was playing out there, and was not even a concern with that line drive.
2 on, 2 down in action in the pen. Ryan Tepera pitched in the first game of the series. On Monday is up in the pen now for the Jays in this 3rd inning. Inside for ball 1 to Big Papi. His second look at Hutchison tonight. David lined out to the first baseman Chris Colabello in the 2nd inning. It's Pedroia at second, Bogarts at first. Two and 0. Close pitch. David getting the benefit of the doubt. In the air to center field. Kevin Pillar going back onto the track, and it is gone. 498 for Big Papi. Straightaway center field. Into the bleachers. A 3-run shot that puts the Red Sox on top 4-0.
Now all this coming with 2 outs in the inning. The home run by Betts, the single by Pedroia, the single by Bogarts to set the stage for 498. David Ortiz to the deepest part of the ballpark.
Now Shaw with a swing and a miss. After the home run, Hutchison comes back with a changeup and has Shaw off balance. Shaw walked in the 2nd inning, 1 of 2 walks given up by Hutchison. In there for strike 2. Strike 3 call, and that will end the inning. So David Ortiz with a 3-run home run. The Red Sox have a 4-0 advantage through 3. checking account with Eastern Bank and get $100. Just text MONEY to 36698. Message and data rates may apply. Now it's on to the top of the fourth inning, 4-0. Red Sox have the lead over the Blue Jays. Big inning, 2 home runs for the Red Sox in the bottom of the third inning. Joe Kelly back to the hill. Top of the Jays order, Ben Revere takes the strike and is down 0-1. Revere flied out to the left fielder Rusney Castillo in the first inning. Yankees have a 3-1 lead over the Baltimore Orioles tonight in the fourth inning in the Bronx. Sunday on an all-new Charlie Moore Outdoors. Charlie takes a longtime buddy to New Hampshire to do some smallmouth fishing. The two teach an autistic group to fish and support the Fishing with a Mission cause. Don't miss an all-new Charlie Moore Sunday at 5:30. Ben Revere leading it off here in the visiting half of the fourth inning. And takes ball 2, 2-1. Joe Kelly with a long wait while the Red Sox were scoring the 4 runs in the third inning. Now Revere on the ground and through into right field, a base hit. Second hit of the night for the Blue Jays as we check in with Guerin.
Thanks, Don. The other day I caught up with David Ortiz, and he said he's not thinking too much about hitting 500 because there is some time left on the season, but he said it's fun because it is such a milestone. Now, he also said that the other day he was caught in some traffic, and a bunch of men doing construction all came around his car and started chanting, "Poppy 500." Ortiz said that it's a lot of fun for him to see how excited everyone is for him to hit 500.
Now, I'd certainly like to do it at home here, too, at Fenway Park. No doubt about that. Red Sox, of course, heading out after this ball game tonight to begin a 3-city tour. 9 games in 10 days. Here is Josh Donaldson, but first to check it first on Revere, who's back to the bag.
Revere with 3 stolen bases since coming over to the Blue Jays. See 27 total on the season.
Strike called on the outside corner. 3 strikeouts so far for Joe Kelly through 3+ innings. Center fielder Mookie Betts over towards right center. Good sized gap in left center here for Donaldson. Always a threat to go deep. 37 home runs on the year for Donaldson. Is good for 3rd in the American League. As he hits a fly ball out toward shallow center field. In comes Betts. And Mookie makes the catch for the first out of the 4th inning. Well, this September, the Red Sox family 4-packs are back. Through the special package, fans will get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas for $75. This great deal is even available for Fred Lynn bobblehead night on September the 22nd. Tickets are available at redsox.com/family 4-packs. One out, one on, and Jose Bautista, the batter, struck out swinging in the first inning. Throw to first and relatively close as Revere gets back.
Last time Bautista was at the plate, it was nothing fancy from Joe Kelly. All fastballs. Outside corner for a strike. Fastball up. Outside corner again to go 1-2. Then gets him to chase one that's going to be up and out of the zone. So 4 straight fastballs from Kelly to Bautista. See how he attacks him this time. Starts him off with the breaking ball, the slider.
Bautista, a lot of walks, tied for first in the American League with 89 of them. As that pitch is up, and he is ahead now 2-0. 17 walks in his last 17 games. Now .474 on base percentage. That's with Ben Revere at first base. One out here in the Blue Jays' fourth inning. High strike call, and it's 2-1. On 23 games at Fenway, speaking of guys who do well against the Red Sox, 9 home runs, 23 RBIs in his last 23 games at Fenway, and a .312 average here. 2-1 pitch. Away, 3-1. Bautista batting now with Encarnacion waiting on deck. Blue Jays batting here in the top of the fourth inning. In the dirt, and Bautista draws a walk. That is the first allowed by Joe Kelly. So not giving in on the fastball, down 3-1. He ends up walking in.
A little different sequence this time. After all fastballs last at bat, he starts him with a slider, then goes to the fastball for about 3 straight pitches. Fastball away, called a strike, then a fastball away, not called a strike, and then finishes with the slider again off the plate for the walk. So a couple of men on base here. Still a lot of fastballs from Kelly in the 2 at bats to Bautista tonight.
2 on, 1 away. Edwin Encarnacion, the batter. He flied out to right field in the second inning. 0 for 1. In there for a strike, the fastball that time into the bottom of the zone. 14 for his last 23 with runners in scoring position. Bats with Revere at second base, Bautista at first base, 1 out in the inning. Joe Kelly trying to have a shutdown inning after the Red Sox grab a 4-0 advantage with 4 in the bottom of the third inning. Encarnacion getting time and backing out.
Kelly being very careful, especially with this part of the lineup. This part of the lineup can put runs on the board in a hurry.
Thought about it, was able to hold up. I think they check. Yeah, he was. According to Field and Culbreth. You gotta look at it from the side.
Yeah, I think Hannigan might have thought it was a strike. Should have been called a strike, as he has a few words with tried by the home plate umpire.
Little low at 94, and it's 2-1. Kelly had retired 7 in a row coming into this inning, but a leadoff hit by Revere got it started. Donaldson flied out to center. He walked Bautista. So first and second, 1 down, and it's 2-1 to Encarnacion. Kelly taking a long time in between pitches here. He has brought it to a halt. Troy Tulowitzki waiting on deck, doesn't get any easier in this Blue Jays lineup. This is drilled to left, and it is going to one hop the wall. Revere around from second base will score the Blue Jays' first run of the night. It is 4-1 as Encarnacion drives it in.
Encarnacion jumps on a slider that time from Kelly. Actually, a pretty good piece of hitting. That ball was down and away from him, and he's able to still cover the plate, reach out, get the barrel of the bat on it, and pull it down that left field line. Another nice play by Castillo out here in left field as he gets the ball in very quickly, and that runner had to hold at second base. Castillo barehanding the ball off the wall and getting it back into third base. Well, for sure that was probably going to be a first and third, but he changed that in a hurry. That's pretty good hitting by Encarnacion.
It's reached base safely down 39 straight games, a new single season franchise record. And it is first and second with one out, a run in here for Toronto, and Troy Tulowitzki coming up representing the tying run. Rusney today working out there with Arnie Baylor. Alan Craig out there as well. And the monster out there working hard. And tonight his 6th game in left field. Two on, one away. Tulowitzki will take strike one. Fastball right down the middle. Bautista at second base, Encarnacion at first, one out. Blue Jays have gathered their first run here against Joe Kelly in the inning.
Pretty good pitch right there by Kelly, but not getting the benefit of the call. Looked like it had a piece of the strike zone down and away. That's the kind of pitch against this kind of lineup you really want.
Tulowitzki fouls it off. Fastball that was on that outside corner, and now Kelly jumps ahead 1-2. Only 122 since July 21st for Tulowitzki with runners in scoring position. He's got Bautista at second, Encarnacion at first, and one out. Very high on the fastball, kind of got away. 2-2.
Trying to come inside on Tulowitzki, but way up and in this time. You see Hannigan sped up inside. They wanted to try to jam him with that fastball, but it got away from Kelly.
Up top again at 98, and it's a full count now. Second full count of the night, run by Joe Kelly. With Tulowitzki batting now. Colabello waiting on deck. taxing inning here for Joe Kelly, working in the fourth. And Hannigan headed out to talk to Kelly. Well, just one Nexium 24-hour day gives you all day, all night protection from frequent heartburn. Go to Nexium24hour.com for savings and pick up Nexium 24-hour at your local Stop and Shop. Entering tonight's game, Joe Kelly at a 6.00 earned run average in the fourth inning. Fourth inning has been his trouble inning, and here's given up a run so far in the inning as a ground ball towards third. Sandoval will go to second base for one. No throw to first, and a look to third. They do get the middleman, and Encarnacion at second base for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, Pedroia had no intention of throwing that ball to first base. There was no chance of getting a double play, but the little hop over the man coming in to take him out, and then a look toward third base, but unfortunately nobody was there. Sandoval going to second. You see the run of ducking there, Batista, and then Encarnacion taking out Pedroia at second base. Here comes Encarnacion, got him lined up, but Pedroia had no intentions of throwing the ball. He could tell, he knew there was going to be no double play.
First and third with two down, and Colabello now the batter. And he takes strike one, inside corner this time. Colabello a strikeout victim in the second. He went swinging. One of three strikeouts on the night for Joe Kelly. In the dirt, blocked by Hannigan with that runner at third base, able to keep it in front of him.
And Hannigan attacking that ball in the dirt that time. Watch him almost jump out at this. Everybody has to hold at first and third.
Very high, and coming out of that crouch was Hannigan. We've seen a few of those uncorked by Kelly. Almost like he's overthrown a little bit. That was at 97.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to get a little bit extra on his fastball. You're right, Don. 97, 98 with a number of these high fastballs. And this one also going high.
The 25th pitch of the inning coming up here for Joe Kelly. 2-1 to Colabello. And a swing and a miss, 2-2.
After the high fastball, back to the slider, down and away. Good spot for that pitch for Joe Kelly.
Two. Hit the hand or the knob of the bat? I guess the hand. Colabello in some pain. Sounded like the knob of the bat. And we'll see if the Red Sox are going to argue this.
Let's see if we can see anything on replay. It sure sounded like the bat, but it looks like it got a piece of the hand because he's got his hand down below the knob of the bat.
All right, so the bases will be loaded here for the Blue Jays. The hit batsman, Chris Colabello. Sixth batter that Joe Kelly has hit this year. Bases filled, Blue Jays, 2 down, and brings up Russell Martin, who struck out looking in the 3rd inning, 0 for 1. This marks the 7th batter that Joe Kelly has had to face here in the 4th inning. And a swing and a miss for strike 1.
Looks like right now the best control Kelly has is with his slider. There have been some nasty ones in this inning.
Swing and a miss, and he jumps ahead 0-2. Back to the fastball, and a good one at 98 miles an hour.
Yeah, it gets on top of that one. It didn't sail on him. They wanted to go away. It stays inside, but enough velocity to get it by Martin.
Bases loaded here for the Blue Jays. 2 down in the 4th inning. Career 301 hitter is Russell Martin with the bases loaded. It's Bautista, Tulowitzki, and Colabello. The 0-2 pitch. On the outside corner for strike 3. Big strikeout for Joe Kelly. A run for the Jays. 4-1 Boston. Is here to make your banking and your day easier. See how at easternbank.com. Here, your first Eastern Bank. Well, a big strikeout there of Russell Martin with the bases loaded. Tying runs were on base for the Blue Jays. They do get a run back, though, in the top half of the 4th inning. And now the Red Sox coming to bat in the bottom of the 4th. Pablo Sandoval to lead it off. Drew Hutchison back on the mound after allowing the 4-run 3rd inning. And Sandoval, big swing and a miss at the fastball.
Take a look at the strikeout to end last inning. Fake inside by Hannigan. They go away and right to the outside part of the plate. Very good pitch by Kelly. And a nice little setup by Hannigan, who, you know, when they do that, the catchers, they want the hitter to think they're coming inside. They do it on purpose. make some noise like they're going inside, get you thinking a little bit, and all of a sudden they buzz that fastball away from you.
There's a ground ball down the first base line. Colabello will take it himself to the bag.
So I was talking about, watch Hannigan jump inside. He wants Martin to think they're going in there. And then he's back to the outside part of the plate, and that's exactly where the pitch goes. And believe me, when you're standing in the batter's box, you can hear that.
What about the shadows? Can you see that?
In some places you can, yes.
One down, Rusney Castillo, 0-for-1. Rusney flying out to the right fielder Bautista in the second inning. Double-barreled action now for the Blue Jays. They're in loop. Ryan Tepera. Tepera had been up earlier. Loop has joined him, and both have pitched in this series. Up and in, and 3-0. Fly ball swinging, 3-0 is Castillo back towards the warning track, and leaping but not catching is Kevin Pillar. Into second base goes Castillo. Hit his knee pretty good, it looks like, on the wall out there in center field.
That's a heck of an effort by Pillar out there in center field. You know, we've seen a lot of good plays from him this year against the Red Sox, and almost a great play here. There's Castillo getting the green light. 3 balls, no strikes, gets a fastball. And Pillar actually just overran that ball. One less step, and he's probably got it. Castillo watching the ball, knows he's got a cinch double if the ball is not caught.
So 1 out double, and it brings up Ryan Hannigan. Framed there by Martin for the strike. Hannigan walked in the third inning. One of 2 walks given up by Hutchison. .255 average coming in for Hannigan. 80th pitch coming up here for Hutchison of his outing. And a swing and a miss, 0-2. Drew Hutchison's pitching line is brought to you by our Eastern Lexus dealers. 3 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, including 2 home runs. Mookie Betts solo shot. David Ortiz with his 3-run home run and the 498th of his career. No 2 pitch. And a ground ball base hit down the right field line. From second base, Rusney Castillo will score. Hannigan's headed to second base. Throw from Bautista's cut off. And he gets into second base as the Red Sox take a 5-1 lead. Well, John Gibbons out to make the pitching change, with the Red Sox now back on top by 4, 5-1 Boston. Baseline and into right field.
Yeah, he actually stopped at first base, and you see the ball bounce off. Batista coming for it, and Hannigan had really stopped, and then he decided to go to second base, ends up making it, and more importantly, gets that run home, picks up the RBI, his 13th of the season.
Aaron Loop here in to deal with Jackie Bradley Jr. in the first pitch, a strike. Loop first out of the bullpen tonight for the Jays. His 51st appearance, 2-5. 5.11 earned run average, 40 strikeouts, 6 walks. Yankees have a 3-1 lead over Baltimore in the 5th inning tonight from the Bronx. Well, the Red Sox have a 5-1 lead here and a strike over the outside corner. Hutchison still responsible for Hannigan at second base, but so far touched for 5 runs. ERA coming into tonight was 5.07. Swing and a miss, and it gets away from Martin, so he's got to throw Bradley out, and he does. As Loop strikes out Bradley for the second out of the 4th inning.
1 and done for Aaron Loop as they got to go to the bullpen again.
Two outs here in the inning. Pitching change from Fenway. A $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Aaron Loop is done after facing 1 batter. He's able to strike out Jackie Bradley Jr. Now Liam Hendricks into the game here for Toronto. 49th appearance, 4-0, the 2.65 ERA, 57 2/3. He's got 61 strikeouts. Hendricks type of guy go a few innings for John Gibbons. Mookie Betts tonight has struck out and homered. Home run, his 14th of the year, picks up his 68th RBI of the season. That's with Hannigan at second base and 2 away. 2-0.
Now back in the 3rd inning, a fastball to Mookie Betts, number 14 on the season, right on the top of the Green Monster, right on the shelf.
Well, for Hendricks, a guy who does go multiple innings quite a bit for John Gibbons. Holds a 1.42 earned run average in those games in which he goes more than an inning. Last 31 games, he's posted a 1.72 ERA overall. 2-1. And a pitch outside. 3-1. Dustin Pedroia waiting on deck. Runner at second, the responsibility of the starter, Drew Hutchison. And Betts with a big swing there, full count. He's got 4 against the Blue Jays, 4 against Tampa Bay, as Alex Spear of the Boston Globe points out. Driven to left field. Ben Revere going back at the wall. It's off the wall. From second base, Hannigan will score. Into second base with an RBI double goes Mookie Betts, and the Red Sox take a 6-1 lead.
That's a hanging breaking ball right there from Hendricks, and Betts jumps all over it. 2 RBIs on the night now gives him 69 total on the season. There's the hanger right there, and Betts did not miss it. At first I thought I had a chance maybe to get out of the ballpark, but no. About 3/4 of the way up the wall, Hannigan scores. Red Sox got 6 runs.
Now Dustin Pedroia with Betts at second base. Pedroia 1 for 2 in the ball game tonight. Had a single to left field his last time up. That run that scores charged to Drew Hutchison, so he is charged with all 6 runs in 3 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Pitcher of record on the losing side at the moment. Came in with a 13-3 record individually, but an ERA up over 5 and an ERA up over 11 against Boston this year. Pedroia fouling it off to the right out of play. Bob's Discount Furniture goes to bat for the Jimmy Fund again this year. Bob will donate $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund for every game saved this season. Everybody saves at Bob's. Bob's Discount Furniture, quality, choice, and value. Learn more at mybobs.com. In there for strike 2, 2-2. With good numbers against Hendricks, 4 for 5. Mixed in a double and a triple in his 5 at bats. Xander Bogaerts waiting on deck. Red Sox batting here in the home half of the 4th inning. Downstairs at 98 and a full count. 3-3 now. The Orioles have come back against the Yankees to tie that up in the 6th inning. Pete Walker to the phone. Already seen 2 pitchers out of that bullpen for Toronto. Line to right, Batista is there, and he makes the catch, bill of the cap high to end the inning. But the Red Sox add 2 more and take a 6-1 lead. Run differential of plus 196. According to the Elias Sports Bureau, only 2 teams have reached plus 200 over the past 10 seasons. The 2011 Yankees and the 2007 Red Sox. Twisted Tea is the hard iced tea. Tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. And they've got only 1 run so far tonight off Joe Kelly. Red Sox with 6 as we play into the 5th inning. And Ryan Goins swings at the first pitch and fouls it off into the seats. Pablo Sandoval giving chase, but several rows back and out of his reach. Ryan Goins flied out to the right fielder, Jackie Bradley Jr. in the 3rd. More action. Steve Delabar up for the Blue Jays. Here's an 0-1. That one sails on Kelly. Kevin Pillar waiting on deck. Blue Jays batting here in the top of the 5th inning. In there for a strike 1 and 2. Goins fly to right in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game.
The close pitch not going Kelly's way. That time the changeup. Very tough pitch right there with 2 strikes on the hitter.
In the air to left field. Castillo and Betts. It'll be Castillo right at the edge of the track for the first out of the 5th inning. Well, it's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag NESN-DataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Tweet your photos now. Brought to you by T-Mobile. 1 down in the 5th inning, and it'll bring up Kevin Pillar. Popped out to second base in the 3rd inning, 0 for 1. Fouled straight back for strike 1. Pillar second on the team with 38 multi-hit contests. And a guy batting in the number 9 spot who has double figures in home runs. He's got 10. That's the arms out of the way, but a strike called, and it's 0-2.
Working that inside corner is Joe Kelly. Pillar jumping back from that inside fastball. That time a close pitch going in Kelly's direction. Inside slider away.
This is down the right field line towards the pole, and that ball is going to be foul to the right of it.
I think from our vantage point, Don, that is the toughest one to call.
I would agree.
The one down that right field line.
Always tough to tell if it is in front of the pole or behind the pole from our vantage point. The 0-2 pitch is wrapped foul. Kelly has worked at a very slow pace tonight and continues to do so with 1 out. Pillar waiting patiently. The 0-2 pitch. Just outside.
Not missing by very much, but certainly on the outside part of the plate.
On the ground, a deep short as Bogaerts gets it there in time for out number 2.
Have a quick release by Bogaerts at shortstop. He has to go to the backhand. He knows Pilar runs well. That's one key thing infielders have to know. How quick is the base runner? And how quickly do I have to get rid of the baseball? That time, Bogaerts right on target.
So 2 down here in the 5th for Ben Revere. He was flied out to left, single to right. 1 for 2 in the ball game. He's got one of the 3 hits the Blue Jays have. And he takes strike 1. Another strike, this one on the high side. 0-2. Kelly with 4 strikeouts on the night. He's walked a batter. 1 run coming in the 4th inning. RBI single by Edwin Encarnacion. The only run for the Blue Jays so far tonight. 0-2 pitch is into right field for a base hit. So Revere has his 2nd hit, and both have gone to right.
And Kelly kept shaking off Hannigan. He wanted to go to that changeup away. Actually, not a bad pitch. It was outside, but Revere able to hook it for the line drive base hit. There's the changeup down. You can see to the outside part of the plate. That's just pretty good hitting right there by Revere.
So 2 down. Revere at first, held on by Shaw. And here is Donaldson, who has singled and flied out to center field. 1 for 2 so far tonight.
Throw to first base here by Kelly.
Another check, and not as close this time. Revere diving back. In there for a strike. Donaldson with 1 of the 4 hits now for the Blue Jays. His game in the 1st inning, a single to left. Shaw holding on to Revere at first base. Ball and a strike down to Donaldson.
There's another pitch Hannigan wanted right there. He thought he had the top of the strike zone with that fastball. See Hannigan just shaking his head.
Outside for ball 2. Still throwing hard, 97 miles an hour. Over 90 pitches now for Joe Kelly, working here in the 5th inning. Bautista stretching it out on deck. Trying to get that corner, cannot. 3-1. Going back out there again. And ends up over the plate, lined into center field. Stopping at second base is Revere. Donaldson has his second hit of the night, and the Blue Jays have something going here with 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, 3-1 fastball right down the middle, and Kelly didn't want to walk him. You got to throw him a strike, and Donaldson takes it right back up the middle with a line drive. Swinging the bat very well right now.
Two outs, 2 on, and Jose Bautista coming up here. Bautista struck out swinging in the first. He walked in the 4th inning. Fouled off to the right, jumping on that first pitch, fastball, and fouling it off. Well, Sunday, in an all-new rookie and prospect-themed episode of Nesson Clubhouse, Blake Swihart tells you the best part of his hometown, and Matt Barnes gets grilled on small talk. Catch it all Sunday at 11:30 on Nesson Clubhouse, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. 2 on, 2 down. Bautista waiting on an 0-1 pitch. Strike 2.
And Bautista's seen a lot of fastballs from Joe Kelly tonight. The exception being his last at bat, where he saw a couple of breaking balls along with the fastballs, but basically fastballs to Bautista.
This one gets to the backstop, and everybody moving up. It got to Hannigan quickly on the ricochet, but nothing he could do about it as Revere ends up at third. Donaldson at second base on the wild pitch.
I guess the best way to describe that, I'd get away from Joe Kelly. I mean, way away. Hannigan set it up outside. This ball comes inside and up over the glove of Hannigan and off that screen part of the backstop.
So now second and third with 2 outs. Two and 2. Back to that 97-mile-an-hour fastball, but it was up. Foul back below us, still 2 and 2.
Bautista has not seen anything but fastballs on this at bat.
Joe Kelly's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 4 2/3, 5 hits, a run, a walk, 4 Ks, 98 pitches. Well, the Jays are threatening and doing all this with 2 outs in the inning. You got Goins and Pilar before Revere singled to right. Donaldson singled to center. A wild pitch advanced both runners. So 2 down, second and third, and a 2-2 pitch coming up here to Jose Bautista. 25th pitch of the inning. And it's very high, full count. That fastball has been up lately.
He's got underneath a lot of fastballs tonight instead of getting on top of it and getting it down in the zone. A lot of them have taken off on him.
Edwin Encarnacion waiting on deck. Pitch number 100 coming up here for Joe Kelly, and shaking off a few from Hannigan. Revere at third, Donaldson at second with 2 outs here in the Toronto 5th inning. in there for strike 3. Bautista's frozen by Kelly. Picks up his 5th K and gets out of the jam.
It's the one the Red Sox have the lead, and when you watch Kelly work against Bautista, you're going to see an awful lot of fastballs to Bautista. Every pitch a fastball until the final. And you got to be thinking fastball to Bautista because that's all you've seen. And then finally there it is, the slider to put him away, and no argument from Bautista. You sit up there and you see so many fastballs, that's the only thing that's in your mind, and all of a sudden he drops the slider on you in a 3-2 count. You're caught looking.
Well, Xander Bogaerts leading it off here against the new pitcher Steve Delabar, who picks up the outside corner for strike 1. Delabar becomes the 4th Blue Jays pitcher of the night, 28th appearance, 2-0, the 3.33 ERA, 29 strikeouts, 12 walks. 198 opponent batting average. One ball, one strike to Xander, who tonight has flied out to center, single to right, 1 for 2. Bogaerts, Ortiz, and Shaw to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Xander out ahead of this. That's a long way foul. Red Sox season ticket plans are now available for the 2016 season. For information about becoming a Red Sox season ticket holder, call 617-226-6888 or visit redsox.com/season tickets today. 1-2 is in the air to left, and Revere on the run is not going to get there. It's off the wall. Plays the carom quickly, and the throw to second base off the mark, and sliding in headfirst safely is Xander Bogaerts with a leadoff double here in the 5th inning.
Now Bogaerts got back-to-back split-swinging fastballs. He was way out in front of one, but right on target on the next one as he puts it off that left field wall and picks up the double. Splitter staying down and in on Bogaerts. He's a little bit off balance on his front foot, but his hands stay back, and he's able to reach that left field wall.
David Ortiz with a 3-run home run back in the 3rd inning, part of a 4-run attack in that inning. His 32nd home run of the year, his 498th of his career.
Deepest part of the ballpark right there for David Ortiz, heading back toward the 420.
Two and 0. Delabar staying away. Up next, Eddie Murray. 504, the Hall of Famer, 26th all time. Three and 0.
Green light is in order. Except if it's an intentional walk.
So Gibbons putting him on here. First 2 have reached for the Red Sox here in the 5th inning. Two on, nobody out, and Travis Shaw coming up. Red Sox already on top by 5 runs. Shaw has walked and struck out looking. There is strike 1 right at the bottom of the zone. One ball, one strike. Still tied 3-3 from Yankee Stadium with the Orioles and Yankees in the 7th inning now. Shaw with a high chopper to short. Tulowitzki will just flip it to first, and it's late. Beating it out is Shaw. He's kind of flung it in that direction and tried to get it there with something on it, and the bases are now loaded.
I have no idea why he didn't go to second base, because he's got an easy force out at second base against David Ortiz going into second. Instead, he tries to flip the ball to first base. But he had an easy out at second base. Talked an inning ago about knowing speed of runners, and a good example right there, not being aware of Ortiz being at first base. Watch him when he gets the ball where David is. He's got an easy force out in that spot.
Instead, you got bases loaded, nobody out. Pablo Sandoval, who grounds one back up the middle into center field. Bogarts will score, and the Red Sox take a 7-1 lead. Sandoval driving in a run, his 45th of the year.
Sandoval have been 3 for his last 21. Right under the glove of Delabar into center field. Bogart scores. I was watching David run to third base, and he was limping pretty good. I think that calf is really bothering him.
Bases loaded, nobody out, a run in, and Rusney Castillo, the batters, they bring the infield in for the Jays. And little number right in front of the plate. Martin will tag the plate, and for the force out on David Ortiz for the first out of the inning. So 2 unassisted on the force out.
Something you don't see very often. Just a little dribbler in front of the plate where the catcher can go out, catch it, pick it up rather, and come back and tag the plate himself. That ball not going anywhere. And there's Russell Martin picking it up with the glove, tagging home, looking at first, but there's no play there for a double play.
So 1 down, bases loaded for Ryan Hannigan. He has walked and doubled. Been aboard twice, scored a run. Fouled off Martin. May have got him on the bare arm there. We'll take a little stroll out to the mound, a little extra time. Hand.
Yeah, off the glove, deflecting off the hand.
John Gibbons checking on him with the trainer, says he's all right. Ace Ticket has your seats to all your favorite Boston sports teams, including tickets to tomorrow's New England Patriots banner raising game. Go to aceticket.com right now before they sell out. The 1 pitch coming to Ryan Hannigan with the bases loaded and 1 down in the inning. Swinging a foul that jars the mask off Russell Martin, so he has been banged up in this inning.
Oh, this is, I'll tell you, this has been a tough series for Martin. Game 1, he got a couple off the right shoulder. Now he's got one off the hand and off the mask from the same batter.
Hannigan to left field, sending Revere back onto the track, and it's off the wall. From third, Shaw will score. Sandoval behind him. Throw goes to second. It's a double, and 2 more Red Sox runners score. It's 9-1 Boston.
Now Hannigan picks up his second hit of the night, his 3rd RBI. A split-fingered fastball that stays down, and a very similar swing to Bogart's. The front top part of the body was leaning forward, but the hands were back, able to plant it off that left field wall, and the runs just keep on coming for Boston.
Infield in all the way around now, with runners at second and third, still just 1 out in the inning. Only member of the Red Sox starting 9 not to have a hit is Jackie Bradley Jr. He's 0 for 2. And time call now. Martin heading out to talk to Delabar, who has already been charged with 3 runs in the inning. Baltimore has pulled ahead of New York 4-3 in the 8th inning now. John Gibbons already used Aaron Luke, Liam Hendricks, and Steve Delabar now has Jeff Francis swarming in the pen. Bradley fouls it off himself. Bradley grounding into a 4-6-3 double play in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Ball and a strike to Bradley. Well, runners in scoring position. 14 for his last 29 has Castillo at 3rd base, Hannigan at 2nd base. And Bradley lines it foul just beyond Canvas Alley. Well, this Saturday morning at 9, catch up with Dining Playbook. Join Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson for the latest in food, fun, and more. Don't miss Dining Playbook Saturday morning at 9. One-two pitch again. Down and in, 2-2. Joe Kelly at an even 100 pitches through the first 5 innings. Enjoys a 9-1 lead, trying to win his 8th consecutive decision. Bouncing in, and Martin able to block it.
That might have been the best splitter that he's thrown so far, at least the most action on it, but bounces, and a nice play by Martin. That would at least dip for him. The others have been kind of flat.
Outside, ball 4, and Jackie Bradley's on for the first time in this game. And John Gibbons heading back to the mound again. He will make another pitching change and move on to his 5th pitcher of the night. It's now 9-1 Boston. Israel Deaconess Medical Center, first aid station behind Section 12 in the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Now a 9-1 Red Sox lead. As the Blue Jays move on to their 5th pitcher of the contest, former Colorado Rocky and former starting pitcher Jeff Francis, who is 11th game, 1-2 with a 7.07 ERA. 16 strikeouts, 6 walks, and opponents hitting at .293 against Francis. There's a strike on the outside corner to Mookie Betts, 8th member of the Red Sox to bat here in the 5th inning. Betts has already homered and doubled in this game and has driven in 2. Red Sox getting 4 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 3 so far here in the 5th. Ball 3, 3-1. 57 extra base hits this season, most by a Red Sox player age 23 or younger since 1966. It was Tony Conigliaro who was able to do that. Strike call, full count. Delabar departing, responsible for the runners on, and the Red Sox have them loaded. Here's a ground ball to shortstop. Tulowitzki will go to second for 1 on to first. It is late and the run will score. Castillo comes in with the 10th Boston run of the night. It's 10-1 Red Sox.
And the 3rd RBI of the night for Mookie Betts. That gives him a total of 70 RBI now out of the leadoff spot for the Boston Red Sox. Hooking an outside changeup that time to shortstop, and just flat out hustle by Betts down the line is going to beat the double play.
Now Dustin Pedroia, who singled in the third inning, 1 for 3. And again at third, Betts at first. And Pedroia now down 0-2. All the runs in the inning so far charged to Steve Delabar. Only went a third of an inning. Bouncing in and taking second base is Betts, glancing off of Russell Martin.
Yeah, Martin's getting beat up behind home plate tonight. Francis tries to snap off that curveball, and it's going to bounce right in front of home plate and up off the mask of Russell Martin.
Strike 3 call as Pedroia is frozen, and it ends the inning. But 4 runs for the Red Sox. They lead it 10-1 through 5. And fabrication for facilities throughout the Northeast. Did you know FW Web did that? Learn more about this proud Boston Red Sox sponsor at FWWeb.com. Now it is 10-1 now. Red Sox on top. Hitting the Blue Jays 11-5. Devin Marrero has taken over for Pablo Sandoval at third base. Edwin Encarnacion leading it off here against Joe Kelly. Kelly up over 100 pitches and 101 with Gene Machi up in the pen. Encarnacion has flied to right, singled in the fourth inning to drive in the Blue Jays' only run. And in the process picked up his 95th RBI of the season. This is drilled to left field, down the line and off the wall. Castillo plays the ricochet, and Encarnacion's not even going to try it, as he is aboard with a long single to begin things in the sixth inning.
That second hit of the game for Encarnacion. Had a hit on a breaking ball, a drive and a run in the fourth inning. Now gets the fastball from Kelly and pulls it right down the line. Well played again off the wall by Castillo. Plays it with the bare hand, gets it back in, and holds Encarnacion to the single.
I'll lead off hit here in the 6th inning. Red Sox have announced that Pablo Sandoval left this game with mid-back tightness. There's a ground ball, could be 2. Bogarts will flip to second for 1, on to first for 2. Troy Tulowitzki grounding into the 6-4-3 twin killing.
Up the middle, good range shown by Bogarts, and that shuffle pass perfect to Dustin Pedroia. When Dustin gets that, he can actually start to turn around so that runner's not right at his back. You'll see right there, he starts to square himself up with first base, and Encarnacion didn't even bother the slide. Pedroia has to go around him to make that throw at first base.
And two-way here for Chris Colabello, who struck out swinging in the 2nd, hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. And down to the count 0-2. It's been a good pitch all night for Joe Kelly.
Yeah, slider tonight, I think, has been his best pitch in this game for him. He's had the best control with it.
Did he go? No. As they check with Field and Culbreth, first base umpire. Almost hit Colabello. It's already been hit once. He got hit his last time up. Russell Martin waiting on deck. 2 outs here in the Blue Jays 6th inning. Red Sox have a 9-run lead. Full count now. Only 1 walk tonight, given up by Joe Kelly. Has 5 strikeouts. 4th full count of the night for Kelly. Gene Machi ready to go in the pen. I'd love to get Colabello here and get through this 6th inning. But he loses him for ball 4, and Colabello head down to first base, and that'll do it for Joe Kelly. As jumping out of the dugout is Torey Lovullo. 110 pitches for Joe Kelly. That's the night. He'll depart with a 10-1 lead. All right, Tom, thanks very much. As that game break was brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Gene Machi into the game, his 17th appearance without a record of 6.91 earned run average. 14 and a third innings with Boston, 10 strikeouts. Opponent sitting at 246 against Machi. As Martin with a swing and a miss finds himself down 0-2.
Good split-fingered fastball on time for Machi. Started it off knee high, ended up going below that.
Machi takes over for Joe Kelly. 5 2/3 innings. 6 hits. Run so far. He's responsible for Colabello at first base. Walked 2 and struck out 5. 1-2 pitch. Martin thought about it. Lays off. 2-2. Machi last night throwing a scoreless inning of relief. Came on in the 6th inning. This will get away, and up to second base goes Colabello.
Well, Machi almost 3/4 that time with the split-fingered fastball, and that gets away from Hannigan.
Machi has allowed runs in 4 of his last 8 games. Total of 8 earned runs in his last 6 2/3. Working here with 2 outs, a runner at second base. And Martin grounds 1 foul. Fouled off again. He'll see an 8th pitch. Ryan Goins waiting on deck. Going to find a fan for that baseball, and he does. Payoff pitch again to Russell Martin. And a roller down the third baseline. Machi spryly off the mound, fires to first for the out. That ends the inning. Nicely done by Machi. 10-1 Red Sox. Bottom of the 6th inning.
Right now, a load of changes for the Blue Jays, and the umpire going over those changes with Torey Lovullo, the Red Sox manager.
I'll tell you this, doesn't look like Russell Martin is behind the dish anymore. Looks like Josh Tolley is back there.
Yep, we can book that one.
Yep, he's out.
Kawasaki's at second. I can book that.
Okay.
The rest I can't book.
So Goins maybe somewhere or out. So Kawasaki at second base, Munori Kawasaki. Carrera is taking over in right field for Batista. Pompey is in center. And Pennington is in left. Goins now moves to shortstop. Wow. There are some moves. More than a couple. It's like a spring training. Munori Kawasaki is at second. We got that right.
Is that still Donaldson at third?
No. Popped up down the first base line, foul ground, and that'll get back into the seats. That is Matt Haig. And Josh Tolley is doing the catching. He caught R.A. Dickey last night. So basically a new 9 out there right now. 1-1 pitch. And Xander to left field. Pennington is out there, and he makes the catch in front of the wall. So Bogart's retired for the first out here at the bottom of the 6th inning. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tonight's photo comes from Brian, sporting his Red Sox hat and shirt. One out here in the 6th inning brings up Big Papi David Ortiz. Home run number 498 was hit back in the 3rd inning. Fly ball center field. Pompey makes the catch on the warning track for the 2nd out. So 2-away, and that'll take us to Travis Shaw. Walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd, had an infield hit, scored a run in the 5th. Jeff Francis coming into the game last inning of the final 2 outs of the 5th, has the first 2 outs of the 6th inning. Fouled off to the left out of play. Took over for Steve Delabar, who's charged with 4 runs in a 1/3 of an inning. Broken bat, foul ball. Bat ended up in fair ground. The ball ended up in foul ground.
Yeah, the bat ended up in the shift for the Blue Jays. Actually traveling farther than the baseball. That's a lousy feeling when all you got left in your hand is the handle of the bat.
Outside for ball 3. Guerrero waiting on deck. Sounded like another broken bat to third base this time, and Haig's low throw is dug out at first by Colabello to end the inning. A 1-2-3-6, a 10-1 Red Sox lead.
5 strikeouts in the ball game tonight. 4 of the 5 on fastballs goes upstairs to Bautista, upstairs to Colabello. Fastball away there to Martin. Martin again with a fastball away. And then after a load of fastballs, just drops the breaking ball right there, the slider on Bautista to catch him in a big at bat in the ball game. Earlier, Don, you looked at me like I had 3 heads.
Well, I got in late. I wasn't paying attention to the entire thing. I came in towards the end of it. I just heard the last recap as Tommy Lane warms up in the Red Sox pen.
I mean, I know right now it's 10-1, but when Bautista went down on that slider, it was
big then.
It was big.
The 0-1 pitch is going to miss. Gene Machi back on the mound again for the Red Sox here in the 7th. Ryan Goins started the game at second base. He's now the shortstop. And the new alignment for the Blue Jays. Curveball missing up and away. 2-1. Pompey waiting on deck, the new center fielder for the Blue Jays. Fouled off to the left, out of play. Well, Friday at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC and Jim Rice will discuss how Wade Miley can continue his success coming off a complete game win in his last outing. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union, what can DCU save you? 2-2 pitch in there for strike 3. Well, Machi gets his first strikeout and the first out here of the 7th inning.
That goes to the split-fingered fastball to pick up the strikeout right here. As we take a look at it on the Amica pit zone.
Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
It all kind of flowed, you know.
It did. It went well.
Described the splitter, and then
I saw what you did there.
Said the Amica pit zone, and then you jumped in with the rest of it. It was really, really good stuff.
And that is the 139th time we've done it this year. We finally got it right. Popped up right side. Shaw coming from first base for the second out, and Pompey is out on 1 pitch. We've had lots of practice, but we never seem to get it right. It's either you have more to say about the pitch than.
I know. I didn't have a lot to say about that one. I really didn't. I didn't have a lot to say, so I figured I'd throw in the Amica thing, and that kind of brings you into it.
Right, and then you get out.
And I get out. I jump right out.
Here is Cliff Pennington with 2 down in the 7th inning. Pennington in the game now in left field. Played at second base in last night's game. And he takes a pitch up and away for ball 1.
I can't wait for tomorrow night. I can't wait.
First Patriots game of the year.
Yep, we're gonna be in St. Pete in time to see it in its entirety.
1-0 pitch is called a strike, and it's 1-1. Nori Kawasaki batting in the 2 spot in the order now. Waiting on deck. Here's a ground ball right side. Pedroia on to first for out number 3. Machi has a 1-2-3 7th. 7th inning stretch, 10-1 Boston. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Now first pitch here, the bottom of the 7th inning from Jeff Francis to Devin Marrero. Took over at third base for Pablo Sandoval. And Marrero lifts one to shallow center field. Kawasaki going out, but in coming is Pompey. And he makes the catch for the first out here at the bottom of the 7th inning. So Marrero retired, and it brings up Rusney Castillo. There is Craig Breslow warming in the pen for Boston. It's been a week since we last saw Breslow. He worked against the Yankees last Wednesday night. There's a ground ball through the left side into left field. A base hit for Rusney Castillo. So his second hit of the night. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation's commitment to 4,900 accredited charities across New England. 5-3 now. The Orioles on top of the Yankees. So Yankees batting in the 9th inning.
They're playing that on New York time. We're playing our game on Island time. You don't get island time, do you?
No.
Everything's slower on the islands.
Oh.
You know, when you go away and on vacation, everything's kind of just laid back and slow.
Here's a base hit in the right field for Hannigan. Taking it the other way. Castillo will stop at second. Throw is cut off towards third base, and it's back-to-back base hits with one away. Well, don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings live right after the game. TC and Steve Lyons will break down tonight's game. You'll hear from Joe Kelly and Torey Lovello. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? 1 out, 2 on, and Jackie Bradley Jr. standing in. Bradley does not have a hit tonight. Red Sox have 13. He has reached base, though. He walked his last time up. Yesterday had his 8-game hitting streak snapped as he went 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. Now ground ball right side. Kawasaki goes to second for 1, on to first for 2. Double play. Nicely turned by the Blue Jays there. Their second of the night. We head to the 8th. It's 10-1 Boston.
With the scoring in this ball game, Mookie Betts with a home run right off the shelf on the top of the wall, and David Ortiz with .498, a 3-run shot to center field. Mookie Betts with a double off the wall, driving another run. Ryan Hannigan also driving in a couple of runs with a wall ball. And then Mookie Betts on a ground ball to shortstop beats out a double play. And the Red Sox scoring all kind of different ways in this game tonight. Good speed down the first base line, beats the double play, and Castillo scores.
Well, today's game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Hutchison on the hook for the Blue Jays tonight. Lasted just 3 1/3, giving up 6 of the 10 runs the Red Sox have. Joe Kelly in the right spot for his 8th consecutive victory. 5 2/3, giving up just 1 earned run. And as Jerry mentioned, David Ortiz collecting his 498th career home run. Red Sox moving on to their 3rd pitcher of the night. Veteran Craig Breslow into the game. It's not worked since last Wednesday. 41st appearance, 0-3 with a 4.21 earned run average. 36 strikeouts, 21 walks, and opponents hitting at .289 against Breslow. Yunori Kawasaki, who just started that 4-6-3 double play to end the inning, leads it off here in the 8th, and a swing and a miss for strike 1. Josh Donaldson had been batting in this spot and was 2 for 3 in the ball game tonight for the entire change defensively for the Blue Jays by John Gibbons, giving his regulars the rest of the night off in preparation of a big 4-game series coming up against the Yankees. Bo Schultz, a right-hander, warming in the pen. The 1-1 is in there for strike 2. Kawasaki, one of these September call-ups, spending the bulk of the year with Buffalo, 62 games, hitting at .245. This is stint number 6 of the year with the Blue Jays. Fouled off to the left.
The Red Sox really shading him to the opposite field, and very shallow in left field is Rusney Castillo. That's kind of like where Manny used to play left field.
Outside, 2-2. Kelly started, went 5 2/3. Gene Machi pitched well, retiring all 4 batters he faced tonight, inning in a 3rd with a K. And now Breslow into the game in the 8th. Fly ball lifted, foul off to the left, out of play. That's into left center, gap out there in right center field here for Kawasaki. Full count now. Kawasaki with another foul off to the left. Did you know diamonds are one of the most thermally conductive materials in the world?
No.
No. Right now at Jordan's, you'll find mattresses infused with actual diamond dust that draws heat away fast and regulates your body temperature for a cooler night's sleep.
Really?
Yes. Introducing the Beauty Rest Hybrid, and it's only at Jordan's Furniture.
Holy mackerel.
Visit Jordans.com for details. There's a lot going on there. There's a ground ball up the middle and out of the reach of Pedroia. Base hit for Kawasaki. Pretty good at bat there. Fouled off a bunch and gets a base hit to begin things here in the 8th.
Don, you want to read that one again? Because
sure.
I didn't quite get all that.
Absolutely.
Something about diamonds.
Yep.
And diamond dust?
You want it from the top?
Yeah.
Did you know diamonds are one of the most thermally conductive materials in the world?
I didn't know that.
Right now at Jordan's, you'll find mattresses infused with actual diamond dust that draws
Diamond dust
that draws heat away fast and regulates your body temperature for a cooler night's sleep.
Wow.
Introducing the Beauty Rest Hybrid, and it's only at Jordan's Furniture. Visit jordans.com for details.
Does that mean, like,
I don't know what it means.
you ever get the head sweats in bed?
Yes, sure.
So, like, if you had a diamond dust,
That would all go away.
I don't have that.
Do you know why? Because diamond dust draws the heat away fast.
I think it's because my wife doesn't keep the air conditioning low enough, is what I think. I don't know about diamond dust.
I don't know.
Maybe I should go down to Jordan's right after the game and get one of those.
I recommend it highly.
Oh, no, we can't. We're going on the road tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I won't really need it for the 10 days. But I should get one anyway for when I get back.
Thermally conductive materials.
That might be one of the toughest promos you've ever read.
Ever. And I did it twice at your request.
Yeah, well, I didn't quite understand it the first time because I didn't know diamonds had any connection at all with making beds.
Now you know.
And regulating your body temperature.
Yes. And infusion. There's infusion involved.
Infusion?
Yes. The infusion of actual diamond dust.
That means you put it in.
Right. Yes. Same thing. Yeah. There's a 1-2. And a ground ball right side. Over is Pedroia. He'll go to first. Gets Carrera on the put out. Ezequiel Carrera retired as Kawasaki takes second base with one out in the inning. This one's a tad easier, and I don't think you'll have me do it twice. Stay tuned for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's. TC and Steve Lyons will have an update on the American League East and wild card races. Any questions?
Hey, you know, I'll tell you what. Good luck to them breaking down this game. I mean, they got their work cut out for them.
Justin Smoke batting in the DH spot for Edwin Encarnacion.
I gotta tell you, you know, it drives me nuts at home because there's a reason for air conditioning, and air conditioning is supposed to make your house cool,
right?
And my wife does not put it where it's supposed to be. When I go on the road, it's the first thing I do when I go in the room. I put it about 65.
So you get like basically hang meat in your room, pretty much. It's cooling out.
I like it cool in the room.
Yeah.
I like it cool. I come home. The air conditioner's like on 70. I mean, what's the point in having it, right? I keep moving it down. She keeps moving it up. You know,
it's a battle that goes on all night,
all the time.
We're going to miss off balance cut by Smoke. Encarnacion had been 2 for 3 before being hit for here by Smoke in the 8th. And striking out is Smoke for the second out of the 8th.
Change up that time by Breslow to pick up the strikeout against Smoke. Stays up in the zone, but still off speed enough to fool Smoke, and 2 outs here in the 8th inning.
And Kawasaki at second base, 2 away. Troy Tulowitzki was replaced at third base, and now batting in his spot is Matt Haig, spending the year of the Buffalo Bisons, 136 games. And a liner into left field for a base hit for Haig. Kawasaki be stopped at third, and it's first and third now with 2 down. Now, Tuesday, September 22nd is Fred Lynn bobblehead night at Fenway Park. All fans in attendance receive this special 1975 season bobblehead of the AL MVP presented by Old Dominion Freight Line. Visit RedSox.com for tickets. Old Dominion Freight Line.
Get some new ones tonight.
Yes, a lot of new ones. First and third, 2 down. Chris Colabello staying in this game at first base. Kawasaki at third, Haig at first. 2 down in the 8th. And Colabello with the off balance cut there.
Another good changeup by Breslow. That was a diamond dust changeup. No sweat.
Infused right into the glove.
Exactly.
Ryan Hannigan.
They'll be lining up tomorrow morning to get those beds, those diamond beds. I want a diamond bed.
Two one to Colabello. And it's fouled off to the right. 2-2. And they've gone final. New York, Baltimore winning 5-3 over the Yankees. So if everything holds up here, the Blue Jays headed to New York after the ball game tonight will remain on top by a game and a half, heading into that big 4-game series. 2-2. Did he go? They will check. No, says Fielden Culbreth.
I think a good call by Culbreth down at first base.
Colabello has struck out, been hit by a pitch and walked tonight. Now drives one to deep left field, and that ball is gone into the monster seats. A 3-run home run for Chris Colabello, his 14th home run of the year. And it is now 10-4. Red Sox have the lead.
Well, that time he actually hit a pretty good changeup by Breslow. A couple of the changeups were up in the zone. This one was down in the zone, and Colabello goes right down with it to take it out of the ballpark.
It was a 9th home run given up by Breslow this season. His 25th pitch is going to miss up top for ball 1. And Heath Hembree looks like he's going to start to warm up. Strike call. Totally didn't like it. Down 1-2. Two and two now. Russell Martin tonight had been 0 for 3. Totally took over for him defensively last inning, and that's for the first time tonight with 2 outs, bases empty. Ball 3. Didn't miss by a lot. Full count.
I'll say one thing. It's been consistent behind the plate tonight. Nothing close has gone to the pitchers.
Swing and a miss. Tolley strikes out. That ends the inning. A 3-run home run for Colabello. It's 10-4 Boston. Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. And by the Scion TC. 10-4, Red Sox have the lead. Blue Jays did get 3 back in the top half of this 8th inning. New pitcher on now for Toronto. Their 6th pitcher of the night is Bo Schultz. 29th appearance, 0-1 with a 3.35 earned run average. 29 strikeouts, 12 walks, and opponents hitting at 194 against Schultz. Takes over for Jeff Francis, who logged 2 2/3 innings of relief. Top of the Red Sox order, Mookie Betts leading it off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That's tonight, 2 for 4, including a home run. Schultz falling behind here, 2-0. One hopper sharply hit, but right at Kawasaki, the second baseman, who throws out Betts for the first out of the bottom of the 8th inning. That brings up Dustin Pedroia. And a single back in the 3rd inning, a 1 for 4 night tonight. In there for strike 1. Looks like Josh Rutledge has come out on deck here. He would bat for Xander Bogaerts. Just off that outside edge. Two balls and a strike with 1 out here in the 8th. To second base, and Kawasaki, a little bobble, but he fires to first for out number 2. Well, Saturday ACC football is back on NESN. First, the Houston Cougars take on Louisville's dominant defense. Then on NESN Plus at 3:30, Tulane takes the turf at Georgia Tech. It all begins Saturday at noon on NESN. To find your NESN Plus channel, visit NESN.com/NESN Plus. 2 down, and it is Rutledge pinch hitting here for Xander Bogaerts, who takes strike 1. 319 for Rutledge with a home run, 6 runs batted in. Alan Craig has come out to pinch hit for David Ortiz. And if we get that far, there are 2 outs here in the inning. Kind of yanked that outside, 1-2. On the hook is Drew Hutchison, the starter tonight for the Jays. There's a ground ball and a base hit into left field. Rutledge aboard with 2 outs in the inning. And we will see Alan Craig come up here for Boston. Was your child good at writing silly captions for photos? Visit NESN.com/freezeframe to see the photo of the week and send in a caption that could make it on the next NESN Clubhouse show. Visit NESN.com/freezeframe today. Alan Craig, part of the September call-ups, hitting at 121 this year for Boston. Home run, 2 runs batted in. Fouled straight back, and it's 1-1. And Craig, who made a start on Friday, made his first major league start since May the 9th. And when he made that start, it was at Toronto before being sent down to Pawtucket. Started 11 games this year for Boston. 1-1. And a swing and a miss, 1-2.
Slider that time by Schultz to jump ahead in the count, 1-2.
Line foul. Into the seats down the right field line. Still 1-2. Travis Shaw waiting on deck. Swing and a miss, and Craig is down on strikes. We head to the ninth. It's 10-4 Boston. Analysis, our experts in positional rankings and draft day strategies are sure to help you dominate your league this fall. Visit NESN.com/fantasy for your 2015 draft kit and start chasing that championship today. Now 10-4, Red Sox have the lead as we head into the ninth inning. Several changes for the Red Sox as Devin Marrero moving to shortstop. He'd been at third. Into the game is Brock Holt now at third base. Josh Rutledge stays in after pinch hitting and takes over at second for Pedroia. The new pitcher for the Red Sox is Heath Hembree into his 11th game without a record, a 4.80 ERA, 10 strikeouts, 2 walks, and opponents hitting at 283 against Hembree. Takes over for Breslow, ended up going an inning. Breslow would give up 3 hits and 3 runs. The 3-run home run by Chris Colabello. And walk anybody, struck out 2. Ryan Goins leading it off here for the Blue Jays in the ninth inning. 0-for-3 in the game tonight. 10 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Blue Jays. Owens fouls it back off to the left and out of play. Pompey waits on deck. Another foul, 2-2. Two from Hembry. And a ground ball right side. It is Rutledge at second base who throws out Goins for the first out of the 9th inning. Let's take a look at the Toyota play of the game. Home run number 498 for David Ortiz, part of a 4-run 3rd inning for Boston. Red Sox will head out on the road for the next 9 games. David Ortiz just 2 shy of 500. Here is Dalton Pompey, who will take strike 1. Pompey's second at bat since coming into the game, popped out to first base in the 7th inning. And again, trying to frame it, but it is outside. A ball and a strike.
Pretty hard changeup right there by Hembry, 90 miles an hour.
Hembry gave up a run in 2 innings. He also worked a week ago. That was against the Yankees in the finale of that series. This one fouled off to the left out of play. With Pennington on deck, top of the order now for the Blue Jays. 1 down here in the 9th inning and a 1-2 pitch. Popped up foul off to the left out of play. Hembry's not allowed to walk in his last 8 appearances. In the air, foul ground has Brock Holt with a chance, and Holt will make the catch for the 2nd out of the 9th inning.
And once again, Hembry with the changeup, this time away, and gets a little pop up to third base. Changeup again at about 90 miles an hour. That's a lot of guys' fastball right there.
So 2 down, and it brings up Cliff Pennington. Pennington grounded out to second base in his first at bat in the 7th inning. This one fouled off to the left out of play. Most of this big crowd tonight has ducked out the length of tonight's game. Up and away, a ball and a strike. 2 down in the 9th inning. Pennington batting here for the Blue Jays. Red Sox trying to wrap it up and take 2 out of 3 from the Jays in this series. Two and 1. Didn't miss by a lot.
Yeah, certainly has been like that all night long.
Fly ball to right field. Jackie Bradley Jr. is out there in right. And he'll put it away. Red Sox able to win it. Take 2 out of 3. They win tonight 10-4 and continue to play great baseball. We're back with more from Fenway right after this.